All right, so I want to talk about why fitness clients say yes. Specifically, I want to talk about understanding buyer psychology. Now, this can be a very important conversation. When I think back over the years, as I was growing my businesses, there were so many years where, for me, I really struggled to understand why people actually signed up for me. I struggled to understand how to consistently enroll clients, how to consistently generate leads, warm them up, turn them into sales calls where people enrolled. And for a long time, I believed that signing clients was kind of just this hit or miss thing. I didn't think that there was any way to create any sort of like real predictability or consistency with this stuff. And so again, it was just like my months were very just like roller coaster like. One month I'd have a big month, the next month it was a small month. And so this conversation here, this is really the most simplistic version of why people actually say yes, why people actually purchase. Again, this took me so many years to actually figure out, and so I've made it super simple. I want to just break it down and hop into this video. So the first thing that we need to talk about when it comes to signing clients is understanding the respected leader framework. All right, so the respected leader framework, again, this refers to the kind of content we create. It refers to us showing up in the online space and actually being a leader, having a mission, championing a cause, and having something that we're kind of like crusading for, right? It's having this big mission, this thing that we can rally behind and push. And so there are really going to be three factors that we need to begin thinking about inside of the respected leader framework. Again, when it comes to understanding why people say yes, because if we can understand why people actually say yes and why people actually sign up to a program, well, then really our job every single day is to show up and do actions, insert inputs into our business and into our system that are in alignment with those reasons, right? If I can understand why somebody was going to show up, why somebody's actually going to purchase, why somebody's going to buy, then every single day my actions need to be in alignment with those things, right? So this is how we run an efficient and effective business. It's by actually taking a look at how are we spending our time and making sure that the time we are spending is spent on the right things that actually move us forward, and that, again, we're just not wasting a whole bunch of time. So the first thing under the respected leader is people literally just need to know who it is you are. So let me pull up. I'm actually just going to type out a few things. All right. So people need to actually just like literally know who it is you are. If, quite literally, like I just don't know that you exist, like you're not even a conscious thought anywhere inside my mind. Like I literally just cannot join your program because I just don't even know about you. So step number one to getting someone to actually sign up and to say yes is they have to know that you actually exist. So the question is, how do we get people to know we exist, right? So the first thing, and this is the most obvious, and I'm sure this is something that you're already doing, but we have to consistently post content every single day. All right, we have to consistently post content every single day. So this is literally like the, social media like is the online marketplace. Again, it's more than likely if you're watching this video, like you are posting consistently. You've probably been posting consistently for the last year, 2 years, 3 years. But number one, so if you're doing this already, it's like cool, like you're already checking boxes. We have to just post consistently. If we're not posting consistently, again, like we just literally don't exist online. And, we have to remember it's like people don't just wake up and think about us. We have to remind them every single day that we exist and remind them that, hey, we are a coach and we have a business. So you're probably already doing this one. So let's move on to number two. The next way that we actually get people to know that we exist is we engage with them, all right? We literally just engage with them. We can do this in several ways. We can do this by responding to people, engaging with their content if they are posting content. Like the other day, someone posted, one of my friends posted some engagement photos, so it's like more than likely your ideal client isn't just this content creator that's building like an online business, but when they are posting content, it's like actually engaging with them. When they comment on your post, it's actually commenting back to them, engaging with them, and again, just like literally continuing to help people know and understand that you exist by talking to them. The next way is conversations. So DMs, whether that's getting on Zoom calls, whether that's, and Zoom calls can look like many different things. You could get on a Zoom call for a sales call. You could get on a Zoom call for a conversion event, some sort of challenge, some sort of like free coaching session, just literally getting into conversations and talking with people. Now, the analogy that I want to draw here for you with getting people to know that you exist is I want you to think about, like, let's say that you go to church and you go to this church, and you go there every single week, you're showing up, you're super consistent, but you never actually engage with anybody. You never actually talk to anybody. You never tried to get involved. You never tried to, volunteer. You never tried to go to any, like outside events. You go every single Sunday, but you're not, again, actually engaging with the church. What is going to happen there is you are not going to actually have a real community, right? You're not actually going to be a part of a community. You're not actually going to make any friends. You're not actually going to get to know any people. And so whether or not they know it, so many coaches have actually created this exact scenario inside of their social media presence. They show up every single day, they're posting their content, but they're not talking to anybody, they're not engaging with anybody. Like, they're just posting. And so what's happening again is it's like this analogy, right? It's like you have all these people and they might be engaging with you, they might be liking your content, but if you're not actually communicating, you're not actually having conversations and actually talking with people, then you are just creating this scenario where, again, people maybe see you every single day, you're going to church every single Sunday, but there's just no real community, there's no conversations, there's no real relationship that's actually built there. And so people, again, they just don't actually get to know you. So step number one is, if we want to sign clients and we want to sign them consistently and want to understand, like, hey, what is it that the other person needs to see from us? Well, they need to actually get to know us. They need to talk to us. They need to engage with us. They need to have conversations with us. They need to read content from us. This is step number one to understanding, why would someone say yes to me? The second reason why someone would say yes to you, and the reason someone would actually join up to your program, is because they feel heard and understood. So how do we do this? That's a great question. The second part to getting someone to feel heard and understood comes down to us genuinely being a useful and valuable person. All right, so what I mean by this is every single day, when I wake up every single day, I wake up and immediately I'm thinking about what's on my calendar, what do I have happening today, what things are happening. Right now it's Friday when I'm shooting this, so what do I have going on this weekend? I'm literally just thinking about my life and what it is I have going on. And I'm sure that's the exact same thing for you. When you wake up every single day, it's, you're thinking about, cool, what have I got going on? What do I need to do inside my business? I've got this family, like what do I need to be doing for the family? I've got clients, what do I need to be doing for the clients? I've got a social life, what do I need to be doing there? That is exactly what your ideal client is doing as well. So your ideal client is waking up and, they have problems, they have frustrations, they have goals, they have dreams, right? Every single day when your ideal client is showing up and they're waking up, they have all these things. Like, that is a part of their reality. And so when we are showing up on the timeline, when we're showing up in conversations, when we are actually talking and engaging with people, the first thing we have to understand is that every single person is just trying to, let me put it this way, every single person is trying to reach the next level, right? So in other words, everyone is trying to go from surviving to thriving, all right? Making a bunch of typos here, so I'm just correcting as we go along. So everyone is trying to go from surviving to thriving. Everybody is busy. Everybody has all these things going on. They have all these frustrations. I'm not in the kind of shape that I want to be. I'm not as consistent as I want to be. I'm struggling to understand what to eat. I've got this extra weight, or I'm not building muscle, or I'm not progressing in the gym as I would like. They have all these problems. They have all these frustrations. And really what people are looking to get from you is, first of all, they need to know you, they need to engage with you, they need to see you, there needs to be some sort of relationship built. But the second thing they're actually looking for is, can this person actually help me? Can this person actually solve my problems? Is this person useful? Is this person a value add to me? Is this person actually going to help me go from where it is I'm currently at, where again, I'm frustrated, I have these problems, I'm not making progress, to being in momentum, making progress, being disciplined, understanding exactly what to eat. It's super simple and I'm losing weight, all right? If we are not useful to people, if people do not believe that we can help them solve their problems, if people do not see a pathway for, hey, if I work with this person, they're going to solve my problems, I'm going to get results, life is going to get better, my fitness is going to get better, then they're not ever going to want to work with you, right? Quite literally, that is what people are signing up when they sign up to your program for, is they're signing up to get results. So again, I'm going to get into kind of like how we do all this. The respected leader framework, this is all about your content. So let's go into point number 3, and then we'll kind of wrap this section up. All right, this is going to be a super short video. There's no need for this to be overcomplicated. The third thing, though, that someone needs to see to be able to say yes in what is going on inside their mindset, the boxes that they're looking for you to check, is next they need to actually believe that you can help. So how do you build belief? Well, the way you build belief is, first of all, it's showing up and showing proof, right? So actually showing up and showing people that, hey, I'm not just posting all this content and saying that I can help you, and I'm not making all these big, bold claims. Like, here's actual proof. Here's other people that are implementing this stuff. Here's other people that are getting results. They want to see examples and demonstrations. So again, this is kind of the same thing, but they want to see literal, just like examples. They want to see this stuff demonstrated. They want to see this stuff in action. They want to see this stuff in play, because really what they're looking to do here is nobody wants to take on risk. Nobody wants to sign up for a program and be like, cool, like there's Joe over here, and Joe seems like a super cool guy, and I'm following him and I'm seeing all his content and it's amazing and it's cool, but like I'm not super confident that he can get me results. But like, you know what, I'll just sign up anyways, right? Nobody says that, right? When people sign up to a program, it's because they genuinely believe, hey, I've seen proof. I believe that this person can actually get me results. I've seen examples. I've seen them demonstrate. I've seen case studies. I've seen client testimonials. Like, I believe that this person can actually help me get results. And so again, they want to see proof. They want to see results. They want to see demonstrations. And it's not like so many coaches, they think they need just like millions, like just tons of like before and afters and these crazy transformations. Sometimes it can literally just be your own results. Sometimes it can be things literally just as simple as screenshots that a client reached out to you. Hey, I crushed the weekend. I didn't fall off. I didn't derail. It's Monday. I still weigh the exact same as what I did on Friday. Like, sometimes just things literally as simple as that can be all that is needed. So to wrap this up, why people actually say yes, right? When we reverse engineer this, like, what are the boxes that people need checked? Well, the first thing is they actually need to know that you exist. In other words, not just be aware that you exist, but they need to actually engage with you. They need to build a relationship. They need to build rapport with you. They need to actually get into a conversation. It does not mean like, hey, they need to follow you for 6 months, for 12 months. It can sometimes literally just be like, hey, they followed me 6 hours ago. They've consumed a bunch of content. They get this feeling that, hey, like they feel heard and understood. This person is talking about the problems and the pain points. We've hopped into a DM conversation. We had a really good back and forth in a DM conversation. Maybe they watch a YouTube video of yours. Maybe they watch a mini VSL of yours. They book in a Zoom call with you. They get on a sales call or some sort of strategy session. They talk with you for 45 minutes. And that can be enough to actually, build up enough rapport with them to be able to actually take them from cold to sold, right? But the point being is that there has to be these things. There has to be some sort of knowing who it is you are, actually conversing with you. Again, so many coaches, they've just created this weird kind of like this weird interaction sequence inside of their online world where it's just like they're posting content, but there's no real engagement. There's no real conversations that are happening. And so it's just this really like they have an audience, but the audience is super cold because they're just unengaged, they're detached, and there's just no conversations, there's no engagement that's actually happening. So we need to get people to know that we exist. We need to talk to them. We need to talk to them consistently. The other side to this as well is it's thinking about things like, cool, you can't just talk to somebody once. Like, you might have to follow up with people and talk to them multiple times and really engage with them and follow up with them and start, a second conversation, a third, fourth, fifth, seventh conversation, right? They need to feel heard and understood. They need to actually believe that you can help them, and they need to see belief. They need to see proof to build belief that you can actually help them. And so again, that's what the respected leader framework and all of the content creation and content psychology and everything that we do inside of content creation is about. It's about stepping up. It's being a leader. It's creating this community. It's engaging with people. It's being valuable, being useful, solving problems, showing proof, showing examples, starting conversations, following up with people. This is step number 1 to consistently signing clients, to understanding what it is that people need to actually see from you, what it is they need to experience from you inside of your online world to be able to actually say yes. Now let's actually talk about the enrollment side of things, all right? This is gonna be a little bit more logical. So to actually enroll clients, again, the very first thing that we have to understand is just what is value. So I talk about this all the time, but value equals problems solved, all right? Value equals problem solved. So in other words, the reason why influencers don't make a lot of money, from coaching at least that is, right? They might make money from sponsorships and promo codes and things like that. But the reason they don't make a lot of money from coaching is because they don't actually solve problems. Their entire online existence in their online world is totally built around them. It's them showcasing their life, how cool they are, how amazing they are, all the traveling they're doing. It's just all about them. If you want to be a coach, you want to build a coaching business, your online world is completely about your ideal client. Everything you do from start to finish is about how you can provide value to people, how you can solve problems for them, how you can show up and be useful today, how you can show up and shift a belief today, how you can show up and instill trust, build belief, shift beliefs, show proof, show examples. Like everything you do in your online world as a fitness coach, as a fitness business owner is about the ideal client, right? Everything an influencer does is just, hey, it's all about me. Check out me. Look how cool I am. I'm going to pose up by this car. I'm going to show people my abs. Again, everything is just about them. And so we have to understand that value is whenever we are useful. Value is whenever we solve problems. Value is whenever we actually help people. Now, the reason why so many people struggle, like if I was to take a poll right now, right? I've been doing this online business coaching for here in a couple months, I'll be crossing the 4-year mark. And I can tell you with 100% certainty that if I were to go out and poll 1,000 business owners, upwards of 80-90% of them would all tell me that the number one problem they're experiencing inside of their business is that they need more leads. All right. So I want to introduce this idea to you of lead efficiency. It's been my experience that most people, they don't need more leads, but instead they need to do a better job of actually taking care of the leads that they already have. In other words, they need to be more efficient with the leads that they already have. Now, getting more leads is not a bad thing. I actually recommend it. Getting more leads is always great. Getting more followers, group members, more friends over on Facebook. This is always an amazing thing. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But I want to explain to you why lead efficiency is so important and how actually the real problem that most people who believe they have a lead generation problem have is it's actually a lead nurture issue. It's that they have tons of leads. It's just they're not actually taking care of those leads and actually taking those people from cold to sold. So I want to pull out a paintbrush here and give you some beautiful drawings, all right? So I want you to imagine that this is a bucket, all right? So this is a very poorly drawn one. Let's see if we can do a better job than that. All right, let's see. Let's erase this. So let's imagine that you have this bucket here. And, all right, I don't know if that's better, but let's go with it. All right, so you got this bucket. What is important is that in order to actually make money, in order to get a client, you only make money when you have provided an excess of value. So if you imagine this being a bucket, you only start making money once you have poured enough water into this bucket where the water begins to pour over and begins to spill over the edges. This is the money that you make, all right? You only make money from the excess value that you have created in someone's life. And so this is what I mean. This is going to be a very, very important concept to understand. When someone first comes into your world and they are a completely cold lead, they are coming in, they have no idea who it is you are, what it is you do, how it is you can help. They've never been in any conversations. They don't understand if you can actually help them. They don't feel heard and understood. They have zero belief in you. They just ran across you online. They're like, oh, this looks kind of cool. I'm interested in fitness. This is a fitness coach. Hit the follow button. Let's figure out what's going on. So in other words, they are a 0 out of 10 of wanting to work with you. Let's say then they see a few pieces of content, you reach out to them in the DMs, you send them a resource or two, boom, cool. It was a good resource, they engaged with you, it was like a good resource that actually was beneficial to them, it was helpful, it was useful. So what you have effectively done in that moment is you have poured some water into the bucket, all right? The issue, or not the issue, but what you have to understand is that, cool, you now have poured some water into the bucket, and now this person they're like a 1 out of 10 of wanting to work with you, all right? So this person is a 1 out of 10 now of wanting to work with you. So then you follow up 2 days later, and you reach out and you have another resource for them. And all of a sudden, cool, you have now poured more water into their bucket. Now they're a 2 out of 10 wanting to work with you. A couple weeks go by, they've been consuming some content of yours, it's been helpful, you've been engaging with them, they've commented on a few posts, you've commented back to them, and cool, the bucket is continuing to get filled up. The thing that is important to again understand is that you don't start making money. A person doesn't sign up, a person is not going to say yes until you have provided excess value to where the bucket is entirely filled up and water is now spilling over the edge. This is the money zone out here. What's important to understand though is that every single person's bucket has holes in it. So every single bucket is it's leaky, it's pouring out. And so if you reach out to someone and you DM them and you provide some value and engage with them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you fill the bucket up to a 6 out of 10, and then you just ghost them for 6 months. 6 months comes back around, and because you have not provided any value to this person, because you have not been useful, because you have not been helpful, because you've not actually been solving their problems, more than likely what will have happened is their bucket will have drained out all of the water, and they will be back at a 0 out of 10 of being sold on actually working with you. The value left the bucket is leaky, and so there is no more. So most people, they tell me, they're like, hey, I need more leads, I need more leads, I need more leads. And I'll ask them, I'll be like, cool, so like how many clients or how many followers like do you actually have? And they'll be like, oh, like, I've got 2,000 followers on my Instagram, or I've got 700 people inside of my Facebook group. And so what you need to see and understand is that really what you're saying is you have 700 buckets inside of your world. You have 2,000 buckets inside of your world. And the reason why most people don't need more leads is because, let's say, cool, you're like, hey, I need more leads. You go out, you get 1,000 more followers over on Instagram. So in other words, you add 1,000 more buckets to your audience. The issue is they wake up at the beginning of the month, next month, or they reach the end of the month and they realize, hey, I got all these new leads, but I still am not getting any more clients. I still have not made more money. My bank account has not grown. And the reason for that is because each and every single person inside of your world, again, they're this bucket. And we don't make money until the bucket has been filled in excess and it's beginning to pour over. So every single time you engage with someone and you have an impactful engagement where you provide some sort of value, some sort of insight, you send them something that genuinely solves a problem, or you have a meaningful, engaging conversation, you are adding water to the bucket. And so this is what lead efficiency is all about. It's understanding that you have more than enough leads. More than likely, you have more than enough leads inside of your business to, at least at minimum, get the amount of clients that you're looking to get over the next 30 days, possibly even in the next 90 days. You probably have way more opportunities and way more leads sitting inside of your audience right now. But the reality is what it really is, it's like, hey, you have a whole bunch of people who the bucket is just partially filled. You have a whole bunch of people who are just a few follow-ups away. You have a few people that are just, you have a lot of people that are just a few conversations away from actually, reaching that point where you've deposited, if you've poured enough water into their bucket where they would overflow. They would be willing to, or they would be interested in actually talking to you, getting on a call, and seeing how it is that you could help them. And so this is like super, super important. This is a key fundamental piece. About 4 years ago, I was on a Zoom call with Alex Hormozy, And it was right before he was launching $100 million offers. And he asked a question on the Zoom call. He said, what would you do today if you could never get another lead inside of your business? What if you could just never get any new leads whatsoever? How would you begin treating all of the existing leads that you already have? Well, how would you start treating the 750 followers that already do follow you, that already exist inside of your online world? And it's like the obvious answer is like, I would probably do way more engagement with these people. I would probably follow up way more. I would provide way more value. I would send, I would make sure that I actually reached back out to people and I figured out, hey, how can I be useful? How can I be helpful? What resources can I get over to you? What content can I create for you? And the overall lesson is it's like, that is the way that you should actually be treating your business. That's the way that you should be treating your audience. That's the way that you should be treating the current leads that you do have. So if you want to understand why people actually say yes, you want to understand the psychology and this pathway and this journey, you have to begin viewing people like as these buckets. And you don't get a client until the bucket has been filled up, that enough goodwill, enough value, enough positive interactions have actually been experienced between the two of you to where they're like, cool, this person's legit. I know who this person is. I've talked to them multiple times. We've built rapport. There's a bit of a connection, a relationship built there. Every single time they're following up with me, every time I'm consuming their content, it speaks directly to me. I feel heard. I feel understood. They understand the problems I'm experiencing. They understand why I'm struggling. They understand what it is I actually need to hear. I've seen proof. I've seen client stories from them. I've seen screenshots from them from other clients that are similar to me, that seem like they're in a similar boat to me, that have the same goals, that are experiencing the same problems. I've seen examples of them actually solving these problems. And I actually believe that, hey, this person could help me reach my goals, could help me solve all of these fitness problems that I'm experiencing. This is why people say yes. When you check those boxes, like that's why people say yes. And so this is what the social funnel is all about, right? The social funnel hits on all these key points. We have free resources we're getting to people. We have a mini VSL that we're getting to people. We have conversion events that we're getting to people. It hits all these different stages of staying engaged with people, showing them exactly what it is they need to see from us to go from cold to sold. It gets people exposed to everything that they need to see, everything that they need to experience from us to be able to build that confidence, to be able to build that trust, to be able to actually fill their bucket up to a point where they do say yes. And so this is the key. If you want to grow a business, like if you want to predictably, consistently grow month in, month out, to create predictability, to create more just like, I would almost say like flatline revenue, in the sense of like not just having these like huge months and then the next month you completely fall off, and then you have a couple slow months and then you have a month that pops off. Like if you want to create more consistent revenue, if you want to create more consistent sales, it comes down to your ability to show people exactly what it is they need to see from you, right? That should be the goal, to show people exactly what it is they need to see from you, so that the inputs you're putting into your business every single day, the energy that you're putting into the business every single day is productive, it's useful, it's giving people, again, stuff that's actually going to take them from cold to sold, and that you're not wasting your time doing things that are just not making a difference. The way you spend your time is going to determine the results you get. If you're spending your time doing a bunch of things that are just not needle movers, if you're spending your time doing things that are not building your business, that are not actually depositing into other people's buckets, then you're just wasting your time. And so this is the game. Figuring out exactly what it is people need to see from you, how to show up and get that stuff in front of people every single day, so that, again, you can take people from cold to sold, understanding why they say yes, understanding the psychology, understanding the boxes that need to be checked. So hopefully this was useful. Hopefully it was helpful. If you have any questions on this, we'd love to start some conversations around it. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.